being in the outdoors with nature, riding a horse across the hill, and it's just relaxing.
Okay, so not every aspect of ranching gives you that peaceful, easy feeling. In fact, it's fair to say sometimes things get downright hectic.
The history of brands in North America started probably the early 1800s, and it was a way of identifying the ownership of livestock. And when they had the big trail drives down from Texas north, they used to put a special brand on them before they left that meant they were that trail herd and they were bringing them north and they belonged to a certain fellow, because they would usually get cattle from 3 or 4 different people. Today we still brand because of the same thing. We need the identification. We all ranch up here, fairly large pieces of land. Our cattle get mixed up one way or another, and so we have to have an easy way of being able to identify them.
We want to keep that old tradition. So many times now your heritage is kind of missing. So we're trying to keep the past in sync with the historic ranch.
We get a hold of all the neighbors, let them know when we're going to start, because we all work together to do it. So we end up with a large crew, but we'll start at probably 6 o'clock in the morning, get up, have an early breakfast, saddle horses, try and be riding by 7. Most of the neighbors bring their horses too. They help you gather. We go out in the field, bring them all down into a set of corrals. We sort them out. The calves are sorted off quietly into a separate pen. And then we bring them calves out in smaller groups into a pen. And you'll have 3 or 4 guys roping. They go in and they rope the calves by the hind legs. And they pull them over to where the fire is. And you have 2 wrestlers. One pulls the rope, the other one the tail, and it throws the calf on its side. And then the one fellow sits on the head, and the back end is held by the horse. The people that come to our brandings, most of them are local ranchers that are experienced and they know what to do. You probably have 2 or 3 people at everybody's branding that it's their first time. They want to experience it. If they listen close and watch close, it's not too bad. But if they want to just bull into it, a lot of them can get hurt.
I didn't see her coming. Oh, I think it's good. It has a lot of history behind it, and identification. I think it's really the only truly identification that the cattle person has. There's no mistaking a brand. Compared to the ear tags and stuff, anybody can change the ear tags, but the brand you can't remove. So,
brand is fairly large on an animal. You can read it from probably 100 yards off in most cases, where an ear tag, at a distance, they all look the same. And sometimes it's hard to get within 15 feet to be able to actually read that ear tag.
Aside from branding, a good crew can take care of a lot of business in a short time while that calf is down. Everything from vaccinations and dehorning to castration. It's a tough day for the calves. Sort of like 6 visits to the dentist rolled into one. But like dental work, it's work that's got to be done. Brandings are also a social gathering. As neighbors and family pitch in to help each other out, it's a chance to get caught up on the goings-on while still lending a hand. Because chances are, when it's your time to brand, you'll be looking for a helping hand as well.
Kind of you're visiting for the springtime to see everybody. You get to see them for 2 weeks in a row, and then you don't see anybody for a while again. So. It's the mark of your ranch, and that's it. Yeah.
When you do have a wreck and nobody gets hurt, it's always a big laugh if somebody's horse bucks with them or bucks them off. Or even a calf, when you've got it down, you'll have somebody sitting there holding it and they think they've got everything under control, and all of a sudden the calf will struggle and they land upside down, and everybody has a big laugh, and you carry on and do it again.